Hey guys, this is Nara. Just wanted to show you guys the basic as far as cutting out foam core board weapons. Basically, what I like to do as far as the schematics are concerned, I love putting everything to proportions. So, like, this is all my work as far as considered. What I do is actually take a piece of the concept art and measure out all the schematics. Like this, the tang of the blade is, I think it was 10.78 inches as far as length, and what the total length of the blade actually needed to be 78 inches. So what I did is just do a conversion rate of the length of the paper divided by the length of the real width times the secondary width. So let's say this measurement of the X-shaped head of the blade going across was the 175. So by that conversion ratio, it's about 12.5 inches across. So here is, I've done basically all the math, if I can get this right. And this is Beastmaster. It is massive. I'm actually going to cut the tang a little bit short, closer to that second line that's near the base there, or the end of the board. But as right now, I'm just gonna leave that on. That way I can figure out and when I go to put the PVC pipe handle, it'll be thick enough to the point where it can support the blade into the hilt. But yeah, this right here is 50 inches long. I believe, not sure how much that is in centimeters actually. I'm a stupid American and I know nothing about conversion rates. Yeehaw, no, just kidding. But yeah, I'll go into, I actually had this pre-recorded the first time, but my camera was being stupid and didn't record the 5 minutes that it actually took to carve out. So I'm going to explain a little bit more about the process. That way we can show you how it works. Oh, that's not in frame. There we go. Okay. I'm going to speed up the camera for time-lapse purposes because the whole process of actually cutting out the second piece takes about 15 minutes. So I'm going to shorten this video down to 6. Basically, the first thing you want to do is line up the pieces. That way it's actually going to fit in your space that you're going to be working with. If you have a lot of oddly misshapen pieces, like keyblades for one, you actually have to plot out where each of these pieces are going to fall in the material. That way you're actually using the most of the foam core and not wasting pieces. Beastmaster I'm kind of lucky with just because it is technically a straight blade, besides the axe head of the part of the tang where he basically has a lion's head around the front end of the sword, which is just going to be fun as far as detailing is concerned. But basically you want to line everything up and then pin everything down. I like using just regular sewing pins along the edges of the blade. That way you're not creating any more holes in the actual stationary pieces. Just doing this so that you have your pieces secured to each other and just, you know, almost like a snug fit type of thing. And from there you want to either take your pencil or a pen and just roughly use the top piece of the material that you just cut out and use it as a stencil to cut out your second piece. One thing you want to watch while you're cutting is, depending on how sharp your box cutter is, I actually end up using a longer blade so that I can actually get a finer edge on the edge of the foam. Is that if you pull rather than cut and your blade is kind of rusty or dull, you're going to end up ripping the foam actually out and leaving a bunch of actual almost like hollow niches in the edge of the blade, so it's never fun. So depending on where you're cutting from, I just usually go in a zigzag pattern, cutting back and forth type of ordeal. and just basically following the line work. And foam core is insanely easy to cut through just because the actual width of the material is, I think it's 3/16 is the measurement. I think that is, let me check yeah, not even a half of a centimeter thick, so it's really, really thin. Yeah, it's really ridiculous how thin this stuff is, and it's really easy to cut out on its own right. Also, it's really easy to bend, so you want to watch your weight as far as if you're actually leaning on the border or anything like that, just so that you're not putting any holes or indentations in the final pieces. Okay, so that's, again, basically the process. When these are all going to be glued together, these are going to be laid flat like that. Usually I like to do a paper stencil again, but just for the sake of time in this video, we're just going to cut it short. So, it's a good way to judge how much this is going to weigh. So I'm going to have to put a lot of weight in the hilt to support this, or else the torque's going to be a little bit top heavy. Yeah, that's basically the process. See you later.